Welcome to a new video. Yes, I did not know it was recording. But it was fine. I didn't really realize that it was recording. I was just going bum. Feel I could. Anyways, to the point of this video today, hopefully the audio quality is good. I'm not using my microphone because of the fact that it was very inconsistent when want to be working. Um, so yeah, I will just use my laptop audio. Yippee! But yeah, so piece by piece, I recently watched Piece by Piece. I planned to make a video when I first watched it, but I just couldn't. Uh, for multiple reasons, but mainly because for some reason I can't get sleep at night, but I can get in like the middle of the day. And I can't really be like projecting very much at the middle of the night because it's the middle of the night. Also, because my siblings are home, I do not want uh, them to be heard because that takes a lot of energy to try to edit them out. But yeah. But I watched it, and I want to start by giving a rating of the movie. Good. This is a good movie. Just you haven't go watch it, it's on Netflix. Um, I always kind of like this. Seemed like a fun movie to go watch. Um, and it was. It was a very fun movie to watch. Very good. I like the fact that it's Lego. If it was just a normal documentary, I'm not sure if I would have liked it as much. But it being Lego did help. I was like, oh, this is cool because I really like Lego stuff. And I'm like, I'm a child. I still have the heart of a child. Like, oh wait, did you say Lego? Bad. I want to watch that now. Um, but yeah. So it was a good movie. So I would highly recommend you go watch it. Spoilers ahead. To begin off with, I want to talk about like the plot of the movie. So, in case you don't know, I don't know how you don't know. It is about Pharrell's William life. Sorry, animation. I would think about the right artist. Um, it's actually a really good like biography. I think that the way they did it was really cool too. So like essentially what they did was they had the biography be recorded and then just had Lego go over it, which I think is really cool. It reminded me of other animation styles. I think it's called Runestone, where you take you take a real person and then you animate over it. So it reminded me of stuff like that. It's a really cool process. And then I also like the interview style. One thing I also really appreciate is that they didn't hold back on the swears. One of the things that I would kind of worry about, not fully, because I mean I knew because Lego really doesn't have a bad movie. Like even the second Lego movie, where people like I don't really like it. Like some people like I don't really like it. It's not really a bad movie. It's still a fun movie. Just not as good as the first one. But Lego doesn't really have any bad movies, so I knew that I was at least gonna enjoy the movie, whether or not it was like good or not. But one thing I was like, they might not like Pharrell work with people who swear and whatnot, like Snoop Dogg and Kendrick Lamar. So I was like kind of worried that like they would kind of remove the swearing aspect of it, to sensitize it, and they didn't do that, which I really like because you have other studios like Marvel and whatnot who are like really hesitant to make rated R movie. Not don't get me wrong, this movie not rated R, but they're really hesitant to make a movie above PG-13 or whatnot. Whereas like you can only have one swear F word or whatnot, and like they try to minimize the amount of swearing in general. Versus this one where it doesn't really try to do that. There are like they do minimize some of it, and like they would take like the S word and they might change it to something else, but it's not done in a distasteful way. You still get a point, and also just a funny, like at least a funny joke too, which I think is like the major thing. Like if it just was like they just replace it with like holy smokes, it was like a character. They this natural joke, but they went like holy smokes, and it was like I don't know, Biggie, right? It wouldn't be like it would be so you just replace holy shit. But when you do that, is Snoop Dogg saying it, it's funny because Snoop Dogg's famous for smoking weed. Not the only thing he's famous for, but like, that's one thing he's notorious for, right? So you have stuff like that where it's just a funny movie overall, and then also just like it's Lego movie, so it's good and good animated. I also like how they go about the storytelling of it because it's yeah, it's a documentary, so of course they like start from earlier life, but you also get other people's perspective too, which is actually very interesting because like you do get that in other documentaries. I don't watch that many, so maybe it's like no, that's just how every documentary is, and I'm just oblivious because I don't watch documentaries for reasons. Uh, the reason being I don't really find them kind of boring sometimes. Um, but the point is that it's a documentary, right? So sorry, I'll drink something before this. Um, and they go about it like they do tell you his story and whatnot from his point of view too. But a lot of it is like, oh yeah, uh, Pharrell friend that he talked to like 5 times, uh, back when he first started his career. Like it's a lot of like, not necessarily that. That's like a extreme example. Like that's just way off. But there's a lot of examples of other people around him telling the story, where it's like for the general story beats, where it's like this happened and this happened and this happened and this happened. You do get more of a focus on Pharrell. Like it's Pharrell saying it. But for like some of the like in detail things where it's like how other people were viewing him, or like how hard it was, they get other people's point of view too. Like when he's like struggling to make like in meet because of the fact that like he's going out and like he's trying like he's over here performing his absolute hardest every time, uh, and like trying to be on the album himself, and they're like, "Hey, man, you can't do that." You get the perspective of the person telling him that first before you get his perspective, and there's a really cool way of doing it. Like once again, I'm not 100 sure if that's like the standard or not because I don't watch enough movies for that, but I do know that I find it really cool when they did that. Um, And like I just like the movie overall. It's once again it's a Lego movie, so it's not gonna be bad. Um, but now let's get into the meat and potatoes. It's a very so for me getting the meat and potatoes, I gotta explain some things. Recently, I failed my classes. Um, turns out I was depressed. Who could have ever guessed that? um, but I lost a lot of motivation and whatnot. And I was very unsure of what to do because it wasn't like I sat there and wasn't trying. Like, no, I was trying. I very much was like try my best to focus. I just didn't really focus on that. And like every time I try, I was just behind. So I would just get overwhelmed immediately and whatnot. Uh, which wasn't a good thing, let me tell you. But one of the things was I was kind of questioning, like, what do I want to do in my life and whatnot? Less in the sense of like, I have no clue where I want to go. That was kind of the sense, but I was like, do I want to continue with this and whatnot? Um, and I was like, I don't know. If I want to continue what I'm doing, and like, if I just like what I'm doing. And I was this also wasn't just applying to like just my regular life. It was also applying to like my friends and whatnot. I was like, do I like hanging around these people? Like, do I really want to keep talking to these people and whatnot? Did this person, because the person that I'm talking about was a friend of mine, and I do like talking to her, but it was at the same time I was like, she didn't really push me to be a better person. There was someone else who I like, Like I mean, I used like full blown that. Like every time I think about her, I'm like, oh, okay, I want to be better for her. I don't want to be like, I want to talk to her and like be a disappointment. And like I would strive for to be better so that when I did talk to her, I was like, yeah, man, I'm doing well. I'm doing fresh and whatnot. But this other person wasn't really like that to me. It was more like just a casual friendship. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that. But I was like, do I want it? It was a bunch of other things too. When it came to that friendship. And then other friendships too. And it got me like thinking, I'm like, do I like the way I'm going? Like, do I like the path that I chose? Is it a good path for me? It was everything. It was just kind of getting in my mind about that stuff. And then I was like, when I was watching it earlier today, I was deleting photos, right? I was like, I got it. Like, I don't need these photos anymore. I don't need to like try to memorize the past. I'm not gonna go into too much detail because I didn't be about it. I didn't post it yet because I'm still me. I'm still me. I still don't post regularly, but like I had like thought about it. I was like, I would start deleting stuff, and I'm like, yeah, this actually kind of feel good. Like going through deleting everything because then I don't have to worry about it. And then like I don't like blocking people often, but I started blocking people too, or like deleting numbers. By the way, one of the numbers I didn't even realize I had. I'm gonna be honest. Like when I deleted it, I was like, I'm kind of like, oh man. But it wasn't because of the fact that like, oh, I miss talking to them. It was more like, how did I miss that? Like it was just there. How did I miss the chat? But like I started deleting stuff like that, and I started blocking stuff. And one of the reasons I didn't before was because I was like, but what if I like, but what if like we start talking again and like she or like what if they need my advice and whatnot? And I was like, but also that's like rude to block people because like what if they want to apologize that one day? And like I do think I'm still gonna kind of hold on to that mentality because I still like to forgive people and whatnot. But I'm realizing now that like that wasn't the best for my own mental health. Like I was so worried about other people's mental health that like I didn't worry about myself. Like Gurren Lagann was a great example of like something that motivated me, right? And that was like a really good motivator where it's helped me get started on like what do I want to do? What do I want to achieve? And start working on that stuff more. It was like like I wouldn't be doing YouTube right now if it wasn't for that. Um, but I think for the movie was very more aligning to me. Like, what should I do? And the reason for this example, um, Pharrell, not necessarily have a similar life to me, pretty much not at all for the most part. Um, but it was like I guess I understand where he was coming from and whatnot to some extent. And it kind of felt like something I would do. Um, one example of this is he was talking about like how he don't listen to music. He kind of see colors. And if you know my personal endeavors into the music forte, um, that's the wrong forte. I have no clue why I said music. I meant to say into lift me up writing. Even though that one of my characters is based on me and like how I can sometimes, especially when I'm like really down in the dumps, instead of seeing stuff like I can see outlines of things and whatnot, right? Um, like I still say objects, of course, but like I also just see outlines. Um, but then like when I listen to music, sometimes I like envision like oh this like envision things like a music video, right? Um, like them saying stuff like that was also very just relatable to me personally. Which led me to being more focused and related to the movie. And one of the things that he was talking about is like how he essentially is like he was always like, oh, I want to. He wasn't like always I want to do music, but like when he found his passion for music, like I think I want to do this. and like he was striving for it, and like it was never really second guessing. There was a point where he like one of his friends who was also making music was like, "Man, maybe I need to go to college," but he was like, "No, we got this. Let's continue. We can do this, right?" And it was at that moment that I realized like that is like the mentality that I want to have. Where it's like, no, I can do this and have faith in myself and whatnot. And that's just something I didn't have before. Uh, it was that movie that made me realize that, like, yeah, I'm not happy. I'm not happy with the way my life is going. It's not because it's going in a bad way. It's just because I don't want it to go in that way. And that's perfectly fine. And like part of the reason I was so like, I can't do that was because I was like, well, if I do that, what about people who are like my family who like oh they have expectations for me and whatnot, and like they think that like this is what's best for me, and then I realize yeah like my family can have that, but I can have my own expectations too, and like at the end of the day it's my life, so I need to strive for what I want, and that led me to like the realization that like I don't think Kennesaw's for me. Kennesaw is a great school and whatnot, but it's not really what I want. It has never been what I wanted at all. Um, so like right now, I'm currently striving to get a job. Um, because I need money. Uh, but like I'm currently striving to get a job right now, and then I'm like, I really want YouTube to be not even just like searching income. I just want YouTube. Like YouTube's just a nice, relaxing thing for me to do. And like I would like eventually like to be able to do it more. Like I want to have higher edited videos, more videos and whatnot. Versus like, oh yeah, my quality is kind of bad. Like one of the first things I want to buy is like one of those clip-on mics, um, because that would really help with audio quality and whatnot. Um, but like the point is, it like it changed my point of view to be like, oh yeah, I really want to do this stuff. And I'm gonna focus on it more than like worrying about other things too. Because one of the things was like there's so many things that like I could be doing and like I'm not. And I realized that like yeah, that's true. But like I don't have to always be doing something if it's not really what I want. The Kennesaw isn't what I really want. So now I'm like focusing on like, yeah, I'm still gonna go to Kennesaw and whatnot for now, but I'm not less like, oh, I gotta go to Kennesaw or like stuff like that. I'm more like, if it works out, I go there. If not, it's perfectly fine. Like right now, my classes aren't really working, and instead of being like how I used to be or how it would be before it, or like, oh no, if these classes don't work out, then like I'm screwed. I have to do this. I can't not do this. I'm like, yeah, I would rather being able to do it. I rather do it, but it's not like, oh, if I don't do this, I'm gonna die now. It like that was just an unhealthy manner to have it. And I didn't realize like that was completely unnecessary until watching that movie. And I'm like, no, I can do stuff like that, but I also just need to like know what I want. And I just didn't know what I really wanted. And I knew what I wanted, but I was like, ah, but what about this, that, and third? And I realized I was just being too like focused on the what ifs. Like I did focus on like, oh, the future and whatnot. But I was so focused on like but and what ifs that I didn't really focus on what was like right there, what was important to me. I was like, but what if I do go to I mean I don't get accepted into Kyoto and whatnot. And like I think that realization that I was like that made me realize I can just not like it hasn't been easy. It really hasn't. But like when I came to that realization because of that movie, I was like, I'm feeling happier now. I'm feeling a lot less stress because of the fact that like I'm not worried about much. I don't get me wrong, I'm still worried. I still want to go to Kennesaw because of AOTC. One of my friends going there. Uh, Someone who I want to talk to is going there. They were in my theater class. That's if you're wondering why. Um, like there's still a reason for why I want to go there, but now it's a lot less like stressful to think about why is this character doing nothing. Oh, that's not good. I have no clue why that character is doing nothing. But anyways, back to focus. But like there's a lot of stuff I still want to do there. But like now I'm focusing more on like, oh yeah, but like I'm not gonna worry about that. And the main reason why I went to Kennesaw anyway was because of the fact that like I just couldn't apply to Kyoto at the time. I didn't have money. I still don't. But like I didn't. There was no prospect of me earning money at the time, pretty much. But now it's like, no, I got this. I can do it. It's gonna be hard, but I'm gonna make sure I got this. I'm gonna make sure I get it done. And like, I'm not worried about it. Like, if I don't succeed in going there, sure, I can. But also, I can just like continue working for something else. Like right now, I apply to something else that I got added for because why not? It also like I'm gonna start focusing on other stuff that I know I like too. Like I like engineering and whatnot, but like it's not necessarily like the thing I want to do in my life. And I'm gonna explore more while I'm there. Like I'm going to sign up for some theater classes, partially because right now that's what like I have to do like get my grades back. But like I'm gonna sign up for like some other classes to see if like I like that major. Like oh, do I like theater classes? You know, like what I have, and like I'm gonna do stuff to help me progress in like the path I want. Versus focusing more on like no, but like what about this, that, and third? Like no, that doesn't matter to me. I'm gonna focus. And that movie really helped. Movies are a really good way to not only learn about yourself, but also just like interpret what you're going through and realize like maybe I could do this in a different way. And this movie is very much that. It's like you could go in and watch that movie and not think about anything. You just look at it as it is a movie about for real life. But when you go into like what his ideals were at the time and whatnot, you begin to like click with stuff and you begin to like actually think about it. Like, okay, um, he went through this that, and third. How did that shape him as a person? It shaped him like this. Like when you start thinking about stuff like that, it does really help. Um, it does like I don't know how to put it. It make like a link for me at least. And that's one of the reasons I like the movie because it's a very like it's a movie that you can just go, you can just watch it, and like it's a good movie by itself. But like when you start diving into like, oh, Pharrell's life was like this that, and third, or like during this point in his life he would think like this, and it made him realize this that, and the third, right? And then like you start thinking about that stuff, and it's like very interesting. Um, and I think like all documentaries like that, but I think his was especially more easy for me to think about because of the fact that it's a Lego movie. Like, I think one of the reasons why other movies or like documentaries as a whole don't really interest me. So I want there's one that I do really want to watch. It's the one about the person who makes video Ghibli. But like documentary as a whole don't really interest me. Um, but like I think his really didn't, not just because of the fact that like oh I know this artist, I listen to some of their music. It's more along the fact that it's like, oh yeah, um, Pharrell Williams story in a Lego format. that's very interesting. That's very cool. I want to learn more about it. And I was like, because of the fact that it was in Lego format. If it wasn't in Lego format, I don't think I would have really been excited for that movie. And it was also because it was in Lego format that I was able to like, oh, I understand it now. It's this, that, and the third versus being like, yeah, it's cool and all. Um, but yeah, that's like it. I feel like a lot of what I'm gonna say is a lot of repeating myself. I should, I'm like, my sign on voice video is probably gonna be scripted, so that one get me a lot more patient. But like a lot of these videos are unscripted, so sorry if it's a bunch of repeating myself. I try to express my opinions on movies in ways that isn't just me repeating myself, but I'm not always very successful at that. It's also just I don't know why I decided to choose a game to play that requires me to like somewhat focus on like the cost effectiveness of things. Um, but yeah, that's pretty much it for today's video. There's no shout out for today. At least that I'm gonna verbalize. If there is one, just go check the description as per usual. Also, while I have y'all here, let me know if y'all are interested in like a intro or outro. I am thinking about doing an outro just because like you can have like those tiny little boxes there, and it I don't think it'd be that hard to add to at least my long form videos. Uh, Short form, I'm not doing that. Long form, I'm pretty sure I could do it with these. Um, but yeah, that's it for today's video. I'll see y'all next time. Uh, Peace. I realize y'all can't see me. Hopefully my computer doesn't crash catch I mini this game that I was playing so I can end the recording. But yeah, bye.